Good morning. I'm Diane Gerdes, and I'm with themortgageadvantage.com. And it's September 20th, 2013. Where is Ben Bernanke taking us on this ride? When you begin a long journey to a sunny destination, you hope your vehicle has the ability to drive you forward, has brakes to keep you from going over a cliff, and put it in reverse when needed. Well, the Fed began our long journey out of economic despair to recovery in 2008. To stabilize Wall Street and the global economy, the Fed began an experimental program called the QE 1, 2, and 3 to purchase treasury bonds and other securities to flood the market with capital. Let's compare it to, let's call Wall Street Wal-Mart, and that a very generous Uncle Sam has agreed to purchase every item in the store every month so that they could restock. Doesn't matter who the buyers or who their clients were or who the buyers are. Uncle Sam was going to step in and buy everything. Therefore, Walmart could keep their costs, the price of their goods artificially, maybe even ridiculously low. So in the hopes that the people that are buying their goods will spread the wealth. In other words, they would have excess money to be able to help others. But what happens is that Walmart's clients, instead of with this disposable income they now have because they get to buy goods ridiculously cheap, they go out and go on spending sprees. For instance, like buy banks in China or be very risky in buying things or derivatives that they don't need. And not to mention that what this would do to the retail market in this hypothetical situation is give you a false sense of what the actual performance of the retail sector would be. In May, Ben Bernanke put the brakes on. He said, okay, I've been flooding all the markets with all this excess cash, and it looks like, hey, I'm looking out my window, things are looking pretty darn good. So you know what? We're going to ease off giving all the money into the markets. And therefore, they've been paying billion dollars a month. $85 billion for the treasury bonds, which, by the way, are what help pay our debt for the country. And now the U.S. government owns over $4 trillion in this debt that they've been buying. So anyway, Bernanke says, hey, we're gonna ease off. We're not gonna do this anymore. Well, the Wall Street, being a bunch of little baby girls, started crying, and the markets went into a tizzy. Now keep in mind, he hadn't done a thing yet. Interest rates spiked up. Stock market went down. There was just so much hand-wringing. But what did happen is that they brought a cold fear, that it was going to stop the economic recovery. The housing market has now shown signs that it had been improving, but now it looks like it may have been going into reverse. Part of this, of course, was the interest rate spiking up, which, by the way, did I tell you Bernanke hadn't done anything and still they went up? And therefore, the housing market, the building permits have gone down, the building starts have gone down. So if we don't, and the only true building that now is going strong is the apartments, the multifamily. And then what about the employment numbers? Although they look better, what has happened is that a lot of the individuals that were looking for jobs have given up. Therefore, those numbers are a little skewed. So what are you to do? Bernanke reversed his decision. He could not afford for our economy it's pretty fragile still, not to continue on the recovery. Let's just hope that he didn't put the brakes on too late. Either way, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.